Welcome to the Savage Board Gaming channel. Just going to review a game of Heat. It's the first game I've reviewed in a little bit, so this is an arena game, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we always take stock of the board first whenever you're playing this with the draft, because you want to see what different conditions are on the track, right? So the weather condition is a bonus to slipstream of 2, so you can get 2 more slipstreams on this section here. It also puts 3 heat into your discard pile immediately. This is terrible. It's one of my least favorite things to happen off the start of a race here. But yeah, so that's the first condition, was this one here, the slipstream, right? Coming around here, we have a free boost. It's not all that useful unless you're taking a chance with some stress cards. You know, maybe you only go 2, then it'd be worth doing this, but not all that useful. This corner speed is increased to 6, which is really good because we have a 6 here and a 6 here, so we can maybe get through both of these turns all at once. We have, coming around here, a bonus to slipstream here of 1, and an extra heat here if you go over. So this is a dangerous corner at the end of this each lap, so you just got to be ready for it. So looking at this setup here, I get to draft first, and I'm not seeing a ton that I like with this track and this setup. So, whenever you're doing the Great Britain track, you're really trying to get through 2 corners in 1 turn, right? Either, you know, here or between this one and this one, or this one and this one, right? So I decide just take RPM, because if I can slipstream, you know, say if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slipstream 5, I'm all the way to here, I can get through the next corner pretty easily, right? So that was my thought here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now we do have 2 elite players. I haven't really been playing that much Heat this season. I've been down because I keep getting stuck on the Mexico track, which I hate. So I'm not gonna invest too much in it if I keep getting stuck on that track. But Zombie Earl's an elite, and so is Dennis and Board, right? So they're 2 high-ranked players. All right, so Zombie Earl is drafting second. They take the gas pedal 3. That was another good card out there. Dennis takes the air intake 4. And then Juan takes the brakes, 1, 2, 3, 4 brake, right? Never really liked this card. Just never really seemed like it was useful too much for me. So now we go in reverse. So Juan takes the 4 gas pedal, which is pretty good. Dennis takes the 8 turbo, and Zombie takes the tires. So this tire is a random, obviously it's stress, right? Or a boost symbol on it. So you don't know what you're going to get with it. So I try to avoid this unless I have something else that works with boost, right? So I'm just going to take this air intake. That way I can keep, you know, cooling my engine throughout the racetrack. At least that was my thought at the time. All right. So there we are. Starting round 2 draft. Now I get to draft 4. So the 2 cards that I really want, probably these tires and this cooling system is what I was thinking. I need something to help me get through these corners a little bit easier. You know, if I have a 7 here, it makes it way easier to get through here. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 get all the way here, right? So I definitely want these tires. It doesn't matter. I'm going to draft back to back, so I have to take 2 cards in a row. So Juan is up first. They take the body 5. It's okay. It's an okay card. Just this track, I don't think you need like a really bunch of big movement cards, right? Especially at the end because you're like right here, you know? But then again, I am going to take this 6 if it's there, so. Okay, Zombie takes the 4-wheel drive boost card. It's pretty good on straightaways. You know, he could do some damage on this section. Okay, my turn. Oh wait, what did... Oh yeah, turbocharger. My turn, obviously, like I said, I'm going to take the tires and the cooling system, right? Now I've got all my cards, so what I'm going to do is discard air intake. It's a nice card, but I'd rather have the other ones in my hand. Okay, there we go. So Juan took tires, which is a negative corner. I really would never take this on this track ever. It's an air intake, right? So for Dennis, air intake for Zombie Earl. So everybody else got air intakes except for me. So we'll just keep going here. Okay, so 2 of us put back air intakes. 3 of us put back air intakes. All right, so it's not a great start to this race because I am last, so I need to get in here somewhere. And I don't have a lot of big cards, but I am going to upshift. I'm going to do 4, 4, 3, which is 10, and see where it gets me, right? We'll just go here. So Juan's turn. He's moving 12. He's going to discard stress. Okay. So Dennis is going to go 11. So they'll be tucked right in behind here. They'll use their slipstream to get around. Now, keeping these air intake cards with this condition, because you already have 3 in your discard, could get you back some of your heat. So just be aware of that. You know, if you have those, this condition here isn't so bad. Okay, Zombie will go 9, but then they'll boost, I should say. Then they'll use gas pedal, right? So that was a lot of cards just to get that far for them. 4 or 5 cards to get there. Okay, so I go 10, which is really good. Okay, I'm going to boost and I get a 4. So I don't need to use the extra thing here, the adrenaline. I just want to stay tucked behind here. I don't want to be out in the front right now. Alright, see what we get with our hand here. Alright, so with the hand we have this, which I don't want to use. So I'm in a pickle. I'm going to stay in 3rd gear and do like a boost and 2 2s. Simply because I want to save this for when I have heat in my hand. So that way I'm cooling off heat and spending heat at the same time. Especially when you only have 1 heat in your engine. Gotta be a little bit careful. I definitely don't want to be spending every single heat unless it's worth a... it's going to get me way ahead, you know? So, okay, so Dennis is going first. Gotta go 9. Legend car. It's way ahead. So you're going to see here, I get a little bit behind here. Excuse me here. Okay, so I get a 3, so I'm only going to go 7 this turn. Use my adrenaline to go 8. I'm just going to not be like freaking out over being a little bit behind on the first lap, right? So zombie goes up forward. Remember, my plan is to use this as my way of catching up in that. So Juan's turn. They're going to get through the corner here. It's not too hard for them. Where like me and Dennis are way back here. So I'm going to try to use Dennis a little bit to try to catch up with the rest of the pack during this race. So Dennis goes. Still up here. He uses adrenaline to get a little bit closer to the corner here. Okay, so I actually spent 4, 3, and a 1 here. So it's gonna let me move 8. Now, I don't want to be in front, so I'm not going to slipstream, so I'll just do a nice little adrenaline, be next to them. It makes it harder for them to like trick me. You know, like sometimes if like your car's here, they'll go the extra, then you have to go the extra. Here, if they move an extra space, then I can just slipstream off of them. I was very concerned though that they had 5 heats, so they might try to do something like go 7 here, right? Or 8 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and try to slipstream off somebody here, but that doesn't happen. Okay, new round. Okay, look at my cards here. I'm gonna just go 6. I'm not gonna use this yet. I want to use this over here somewhere, if possible. So, Gray Legend just does what it does. It's going to use a gas pedal. So he went 3 and then gas pedaled through the rest. Juan here is just going to get across the line. So yeah, this was looking grim when I was thinking, well, if Red really wants to get back into it here, they could. But they just go 6. They react, so they'll use adrenaline, which I think they use. Yep, I would not have used the adrenaline there. There's no reason to. Like, I'm going to slipstream you regardless, you know? So all you've done now is wasted a heat, right? So I'll move my 6 here. Now it is worth slipstreaming here because I want to be able to catch somebody over here, right? And if I do, then I'm not caring too much about what Dennis is doing behind me, right? Right. So we're going to see what we have coming up here. So, still not a great situation here. So I do my tires in this. So that makes this a 5 and this a 4 if I get that far. But Dennis goes 3. Legend cars right next to them. Juan is going to stop short of the line here. Not sure why, but maybe they're so worried about spending heat. They have 4 heat, like get through that corner, you know. But because he doesn't, I'm not going to complain. Or because they didn't, I should say. So I get a 3 with my 2, which puts me at 5, right? Now I can slipstream through here without spending any heat, right? So I cool down 1 heat, back up to 2 heat. I have to scrap 2 cards. They're both 3s, but 1 is my RPM, which I'm not too happy about. So now I'm back in it. I'm back, almost caught up with, yeah, the leaders here. Fortunately for Dennis, they're way behind here. Like, he's going 7. So he's going to catch up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll see if they slipstream. Right? They don't. Oh yeah, they do. I forgot about that. So they spent, but 2, 3. It says that I spent 2 heat. Pays 3 heat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right. Starting off with this one, Zombie Earl's going to go. They go the extra space here on this corner. Spend 2 heat. But I didn't show you what I did. Let me go back down here, right? So in these corners, right, a lot of people slow down and shift into second gear for this. But if you have a lot of small cards, play 3 small cards to get through this corner, right? Now I'm going to have to spend an extra heat to get through here, but that's fine. I'm already in, I'll already be in 3rd gear, which means I can just go to 4th gear without spending the heat. And then I'll be able to cool down the heat also. Dennis stopped short here. They thought they were going to catch one of the other cars right here at the line. Okay. So my turn, I moved 4 because I wasn't sure exactly what red was going to do. Wanted to make sure I was able to get around this corner, right? All right, so let Juan finish up their turn since they're last, right? Now I got a lot of great cards, and I can go into 4th gear. So I'm going to spend this, 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 and this, right? So that is a total of a potential total of 18 movement. Or did I take? I might have played to 3, so 17. Yeah, I took this as more of a sure thing than this be a random thing, right? So I'm moving 17 because I drew a. Oh, I didn't draw anything, Brian. Forgot. Didn't use the stress. So 17 gets me equal to the legend. I'll cool down, pay the heat for the 6 cooling system card. And I'm right here. So 1 is going to take their turn. They're in 3rd gear now, so they're a little bit behind. So they get up there. It's not that far away, but I'm in position to get around this corner, you know. Zombie Earl's going to fly here. He'll catch up with me here. Flips that. Uses the four-wheel drive. He'll slipstream. Sorry, uses adrenaline first, then slipstreams. So they're in front of me now. Now, I felt like recently when I've been playing, I've been very timid about taking chances. It's something I'm trying to break out of. So, you'll see here I take some chances here near the end of the race here that normally I wouldn't do, right? The zombies, Earl's going to get through here for 10. Now I played, because I got my cooling system back, I'm playing 3 cards, because I have to downshift, right, to go 9. Alright, so I cool down and pay the heat again. Can't slipstream. Gray Legend moves forward 10. Okay, Juan is going to go 12. So really now it's a race between me and Zombie. Like, I don't consider the Legend like a real opponent, you know? So I don't even include them in the scoring here, right? Of who came in first, second, or third, right? That's because Legend cars can do whatever they want, it seems like. Okay, so I'm doing boost and 2 4s. Right, so Zombie Arrow goes. They stop at 5. Got their gas pedal, so they're at 2. This is where I take a risk here. I get a 1. I don't like the 1. I think it's ridiculous that I got a 1. So I'm going to boost. Now we're equal again, right? But I have no heat. That's the real problem. But looking at my hand, right? I got 6 here. And I got my extra slipstream, which was what I was talking about initially, right? So we'll see how tricky Zombie is here. And they put me in a position where I have to make a risky decision. And then Dennis, poor Dennis is way back there. Like, I've been in those races where you're like so far behind, you're like, why am I even still here, you know? I just won't leave the game, you know? That's how I am. Even if I'm like, if I was here and they were finishing up, right, I still wouldn't quit, you know? I pointed at the screen. It was like, right, say if I was still in the first lap here and they were ready to cross, I still wouldn't just quit. Okay, so here goes Zombie Arrow. So I need him to go 6 or 7. He goes 8. Yep. So you could tell Zombie's been around the block a few times, right? He's an elite player. Kind of knew I'd go 6, right? Because here's the trick when you're next to them. If I go 7 and they go 6, then I can't slipstream. I'm ahead of them, but then I can't get those extra movement. So I'll move the 6, right? Now here's the thing. I have a free boost here, right? I have no heat in my engine, right? So I'm going to take a chance and boost. But I made a mistake there. I shouldn't have paid that first. So when you're in these positions, don't put your heat in your engine yet till after you see if you're going to crash. And I crash. So just enough to get me across the line there. And I'm back here. Now, everybody said that was the right move. I thought it was the right move. Because if I get like a 1 or a 2, right? Or a 1, I should say. Which I had 1s and 2s in my deck, right? If I get a 1 there, then I'm moving 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm set up to get around this corner. And then everybody else has to scramble to catch up to me. Right. So Juan's turn. They do this. They get through the corner. They spend 2 heat to do so. Now I'm stuck either being in first or second gear. I don't want to spend this tire right now, ever, until I'm caught up with the rest of the pack. This is the last lap. I have a few more corners to catch up here. So Dennis once again is struggling. Just sometimes you have those games, right? So Zombie Arrow's going first. going 6. Okay. I'm pretty sure Zombie Earl's like, okay, well, I don't need to worry too much now, right? And Juan does this. I'm like, okay, that's great. So I'm going to do a 2 and a stress, right? Which gives me 5. But I'm in second to last place. I got an adrenaline to go 6, right? So it doesn't cost me any heat. And I'm going to set myself up for this turn, right? All right, so here's the thing. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this will be a 7 corner. If I use this, this will be a 5 corner, right? My goal is to get at least to here, and then I'll make a decision whether I go through this corner or not. Poor Dennis is still trying to catch up with everybody. So this is why you don't give up in these races. I'll show you why in a couple turns from here. So Zombie Earl is going 4. Pretty good draw for that card, right? Legend car cheats. Juan goes right to the line. So I'm like, okay, this isn't bad at all then, right? I'm going 6, so I'll be right behind them. I'll be right here. There's no sense of me spending adrenaline or slipstreaming. So here's the setup. Well, let me finish out this turn, I guess. Let's go to the next player's turn. Dennis's turn. As I always say, what you want to do is get around this last corner with a chance to win. You want to give yourself that chance. You know, now whether you do or not is really dependent on what you draw, but your goal is to get through the last corner and have a straight shot for this finish line, right? So what I did was I played 4 tires, 1, 1, right? That will get me to here. What I'm banking on is that Juan doesn't do anything crazy and go like way to the end here, right? Which would be 5, right? Because they don't have a lot of heat. So looking at somebody's heat is a good indication of what you can do and what you can't, right? And what they're going to do. So I don't think they're going to try to do the 5 here because there's no sense because you won't be able to slipstream. So I'm banking on them at least going 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I can go 4, then I can slipstream through the corner, and it's not going to cost me any heat because of the tires, right? So that's what we're looking at here. Now we know Zombie Earl was going to get through there. He spends a lot of his heat right here. In fact, he blew all of his heat, which good on him for thinking that he was that far ahead that he didn't have like a challenge at the end. But he's only in second, or they're only in second gear, so they're only going to be able to go up to third gear to get across the line, which is risky. Go to next player. Juan's going to do exactly what I thought they were going to do. It's going to go 4. I do mine. Just like I said, I'll go here. Cool down, scrap. Unfortunately, this hurt really bad. I really would like to not have scrapped that. And I don't get the best draw here, but I do get through this corner, right? So I do have a chance. I'm 14 away. And I got, what, 6? 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13 here, or I can do 2 of these and the 2 threes, right? Now this doesn't matter at this point in time in the game. Like, slipstream's not useful because you can't slipstream past the finish line. So, okay, Dennis is still a corner behind everybody, 2 corners behind most of us. Okay, so I'm going into 4th, obviously. Playing these 4 cards. Which is exactly, 14 is the max that I could get. So, and I have enough to boost here. All right, so Zombie Earl will choose their speed. They go 10, but they're going to cool down. They have a gas pedal, sorry. And then they have their 4-wheel drive, which gets them across the line. So I have no chance of winning at this point in time because I can only get to here, and then boost would only get me to here. But still, you know, I made all the right decisions, I think, in the end. I drew a 1 or a 2, I think. I drew a 2. Then I boost to 4, so this is where I end up. So I came in 2nd out of the live players, which is pretty good considering I haven't played all that much recently. And I did recover from this crash also, so I just couldn't waste that slipstream. You know, you have to take that chance, I think. So. Alright, so we just watch the last people come through here. Dennis gets to the line. Unfortunately for them, it's pretty much over. Juan gets across the line here. Yeah. So that's the end of the game, or end of the race, I should say. Dennis will come around the corner, take a couple turns. Juan is definitely making sure, like, I guess we always do that. Like, even I do that. I always maximize my last turn just to make sure. But I mean, he had to go through a corner. There's no way he could have caught up. See Dennis take their thing here. They just decided to end the race there. All right, so that's another game of Heat. Might jump back into it, but I've had such a bad luck of pulling Mexico, which is my least favorite track in the game. So my least favorite tracks are Mexico and France. But I got better at France. I'm not very good at Mexico, Mexico map. So hopefully if I do have to play it more often, I'll get better at it. But I just can't seem to win on that track or even come close to winning. So all right. So until next time, everyone, keep on gaming. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments if you have any other suggestions on this game or other games you'd like to see on this channel. There's also a playlist on the left side of the screen that you can click to see other videos I have made. And until next time, keep on playing.